What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Kimo. His opponent today in the red color, also playing as Isis. His name is I Kill, You Die. The map is Anatolia, and this is the Vubli Champions League season number 2. And it's been a fun one so far. Lots of very, very exciting games having been played. Seeing a little bit of goat micro here to block the boar in, trying to dodge all that damage. We see an interesting decision here from I Kill You Die. He's he's not building his dock, but he hasn't sent his pharaoh over to empower this dock. So we'll see if that's going to be have any issue or not. But we see that Kimo's already got his own dock up, and this late dock here will mean I Kill You Die is going to be 2 fishing ship behind Kimo for quite some time. The extra food you gather from this boar, maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. It's actually kind of an interesting question because, well, you're getting 3 more food per these villages, and there's 4 villages here every single time you drop off the 15 food, so maybe it's good. An interesting decision from I Kill, no doubt. So Kimo's got 3 villages on wood and 4 villages on food. He should be going up to about 4 or 5 villages on wood and then start getting gold. Same thing for I Kill. These 2 players, very interesting bunch of players we've got in this tournament. We've got I Kill You Die, who's been spending a lot of time actually recently playing Age of Empires 2. So he's a little bit out of his groove, so to speak, in the mythology universe. But such a strong player. Performed incredibly well in season 1. I think he took games off like Joe, and he got fairly far. I think he placed into the playoffs at somewhere. So very strong player, and we'll see what he's going to come up with in this game. Kimo, on the other hand, obviously the winner of season 1 of the Champions League, trying to make it winner of season 2 here, and we'll see how he goes. Throwing up docks on both sides of the water. I Kill throwing up his second dock over on this side of the water is a little bit peculiar because in the Isis mirror, very rarely are you going to be able to grab the entirety of the water unless you started on separate sides of the water. And there's no real way to know it, so it's a gamble to go for this. Very much so. And we're seeing the villager coming up to the top side of the map now. 4 villagers on gold, as we said. And Kimo's got 4 villagers on wood, or 5 villagers on wood, and 4 villagers on gold. And he's going to get his temple fairly shortly. I Kill's going to get the temple a little bit earlier, or maybe he's going to throw up the dock first and then get the temple a little bit later. Not exactly sure, but he's got all of his fishing ships now gathered, all these fishing ships now gathering from on all of these fishing spots, all the mahi-mahi. It's very important to fish sustainably, people. We wouldn't want these fishing spots to go away. If we overfished it, it would be a bad thing. And these Egyptian fishing ship really know what they're supposed to do in terms of gathering from the food here. All right, so we've got the temple going up for I Kill. We've got the temple going up for Kimo. Generally speaking, we've been seeing Isis players going a little bit later on this map than I would normally expect people to go. We do see this relics being grabbed. The feathers of Fenrir are not going to really matter all too much, but normally you see villagers or people wanting to advance at about 5:15. That's kind of the time you want to advance. But with Isis, it seems to be that everyone advances a little bit later, gets a little bit more fish out, and does all of the things that way. So we'll see if it matters here for Kimo or for I Kill, as whichever one comes first here. I can't see what they're saying. Wait, can I click over here? No. All right. I don't know what they're saying. And we see the villagers dumping the food in, and balls being grabbed from. Pickaxe coming through for I Kill. Kimo slightly in front of the population. You can see his build order has just a little bit more efficiency here. Up to 18 fishing ship, just about. Needs one more of those fishing ships to come out. He's about to get that one. And Bast coming in for I kill, slightly behind Kimo's. So Kimo's just a little bit in front. We've got the Monument of the Village just coming in. Both players should be working on their economic upgrades. We've actually got I kill still gathering from food over here, though. So it's looking as if he's going to be going for a fast heroic here. So we'll see how that's going to go and if it's going to be any good or not. Whereas Kimo quite clearly is going to be going for something more like a semi-fast heroic. And yeah, I mean, both players have got... Well, actually, Aikil is shorted himself. 3 fishing ship here. Persine coming through for Kimo. Obviously no Persine for Aikil. He doesn't have the wood in the bank to do so. He's going to be throwing up his armory immediately here. Look at all the food he's got in the bank, ready to get this one up. We've got a priest coming up for Aikil, and priest and Sphinx coming forward here. We've got the cabinet already out for Kimo. Did he get Persine already? He did, didn't he? So no Persine for Aikil, as he is just going straight in onto this this business here. Looks like the dock doesn't manage to come up for Aikil either, as the cabinet's going to be taking this fishing ship down. And we'll see how that's going to go. It looks like does manage to keep it alive with 5 HP, but the dock is going to be denied. Those 3 fishing spots being denied there. But Aikil just about to advance. The armory just about to finish. It's going to be a 740 or 735 advance time. And like Kimo's almost advanced as well, even while building these cabinets. Does he have an armory up? The armory is just about to get up. And I think Kimo is sniffing this one out, especially as the prosperity comes in. He sees Aikil's score drop, realizes there's been no cabinets being built. I love this play from Kimo, throwing up a dock, going to be taking these 3 spots for himself. And now the Nepthi's coming through for Kimo as well. Both players going through, and Aikil's got like a 30-second advantage on Kimo while being down 3 fishing ships. And we are seeing the cabinets popping out, going to be defending this location over here. Not able to defend this location over here just yet, but he will have access to a lot of gold with 1,000 gold in the bank here. So we'll see what he's going to do with that. Generally speaking, you want to control the center if you fast heroic, but maybe on a map like this, it's not a bad idea to grab 3 town centers after you hit heroic age, because you've got the Ancestors Eclipse to fall back on. But we are seeing the villagers moving forward here. Aikil throwing up what looks to be a town center over here and a Migdol stronghold right in the middle of the map. This can be very dangerous. If Kimo notices this and hits the heroic age while this is going up, he can cast Ancestors Eclipse here and completely destroy I Kill You Die. But it's looking like it's just out of range of this Migdol stronghold. There are villagers over here that have cheekily build mining camps all around here. We see the priest coming forward. He sees this little situation. Will he cast Ancestors Eclipse? He does go for the early Ancestors Eclipse. The Scorpion going down. The Ancestors popping out. Kimo has to retreat here. Now we're going to start seeing some Chariot Archers or something coming out of there. Cavalry coming out to start with. And all the priests are getting picked off. The Pharaoh going down as well. Kimo not retreating with his priests. The Pharaoh going to attempt to get away. These minions should try and take down the Pharaoh in the middle here if they can, because that's a big unit to have getting taken down. We do see that Pharaoh is just about to go down as he does snipe it as the cavalry coming in. Siege works coming up now for Kimo, not bothering with a Migdol stronghold just yet. A little bit short on the resources. He's got the siege works coming up and the priests hitting this location very well as the siege works just about to come up for Achilles. Short wood at this point. Not sure where he's been spending that wood, but the second town center is just about to pop for him. We're seeing the Leviathan over here with the bonus damage, able to help take down the enemy Leviathan as well. Look at all of this extra damage and speed it comes out at, and even after the eclipse, it still gets a little bit more after the eclipse. So even when it finishes, you still have another second you have to contend with there than you otherwise would think. But now Kimo's retreated back, going to be fighting this one, taking down the Leviathan here first before anything else. Both players focusing down each other's Leviathan, but now this Leviathan has another 500 HP left. The Cavalry searching for something to do. The villagers starting to get pumped out now, and Kimo's got his Migdol stronghold up, making chariot archers and siege towers. Meanwhile, the Leviathan goes down, and Kimo is getting pushed in here onto this location. There's only 4 cabinets in here, as that is, he's trying to make his way through. We're seeing the chariot archers pulling back over here. We see the cavalry coming in onto this location, trying to take some villages down. There is the Migdol stronghold and a watchtower here. Kimo does decide to turn around and start fighting this with the villagers. These cavalry will die very, very quickly, but a nice snipe there. 2 cavalry though for 1 villager. Not exactly worth it for iKill, but he went for it anyways. Now the siege tower pushing in, going to try and take down iKill. You guys, siege works, but there are cavalry here to take this down. They take him down very, very fast. They have a bonus. They don't have a bonus against siege, but they do very, very nicely. And now iKill has taken a lot of the fish away from Kimo on this side. He can build out some siege ships on this location if he wants to. Meanwhile, we're seeing Kimo attempting to take this town center for himself. He does have Ancestors Eclipse for himself. There's only 3 priests and a pharaoh here. Is Kimo going to cast it? He's holding off on it. I'm surprised he's not casting. He's just going for this town center. There's the Ancestors Eclipse coming down now for Kimo. The pharaoh moving in. These villagers are falling, but the chariot archers are going to fall very quickly. We see the chariot archers for Kimo targeting down the priests. Do they have funeral rites? They do have funeral rites. They're doing a lot of damage, but these minions do so much themselves. All the priests falling now. The siege towers can push back through for Kimo. He's going to take down the siege works. He's going to go after this Migdol stronghold. And will iKill be able to defend this? I don't think he will. The reverse push by Kimo, too strong here, as iKill not having the priest to deal with all of these minions. Now the villagers coming in onto this Migdol stronghold, going to attempt to pop out of here and take down some of these siege towers, but it's going to be too slow. You have to think now the minions getting pulled off, going after the villagers as well. 1 siege tower down, 2 siege towers down. The Migdol stronghold 1 shot away from falling, and he does get it off. So the siege towers all fall, but no Migdol stronghold is now left for iKill. And even after all this damage is done, Kimo getting out a war barge to defend over here. The cavalry coming through, going to try and take down everything else. And we're seeing Kimo now has the middle town center. He has access to his gold mine. He's got a big economic lead at this point, and the trade has started already for Kimo. Look at the food in the bank for Kimo right now. Absolutely crazy amount of food here, and he's going to attempt to spend that as fast as he can. He's getting a second market to get the peak efficiency of this trade route. A 3rd town center up for Kimo as he is starting the boom. We've got Adzi of Wep coming through. Carpenters as well for Kimo. He's utilizing the Bast technologies. He's got bow saws, and we see iKill finally getting purse seen, and that's a big reason why Kimo's got so much more food than iKill. Now we've got some ramming galleys coming through to finish up on this location over here. Kimo's going to attempt to defend with his own ramming galleys, but this dock will go down. One of these ramming galleys pops out. We'll start taking some fire here. iKill needs to micro this one a little bit. The chariot archers are up. We do have 2 Migdols now, or 1.5 Migdols now for iKill, as is going to be trying to micro and defend, but Kimo's 3 town centers, iKill's 2 town centers. The gold situation for iKill is a little bit grim as well. I mean, he's got this gold mine over here, kind of this one over here. I guess it's kind of even on both sides of the map. And we'll see how he's going to go as he's continuing through in this game. We see the chariot archers going after the cavalry. I think Kimo is kind of throwing away units in this location here. He needs to pull back, maybe focusing somewhere else as he's trying to pump out these units. He's very, very short on the resources, on the gold specifically, even though he's got quarry, he's got carpenters, he's got everything. The Migdol stronghold fighting back. We'll see if he's going to garrison any of these villages, not needing to. We're seeing iKill losing some of those chariot archers as more units trying to come out for Kimo. The walls are up over on this side as Kimo is starting to put layer after layer of walls to defend his trade route. Not sending a pharaoh over to empower that location just yet, though. We should see that at some point. But he's not doing it just yet. Villagers jumping back onto the gold mine. We see the siege works coming up for iKill here, and maybe Kimo's going to come over here and try and grab this location as well with a third Migdol when he can afford it, if he can ever afford it. But now all of these War Elephants coming out. Now the big question is, do you risk going Thoth in this matchup? We used to see it back in the day, but it's kind of died out. Thoth, you get the huge elephants, but they get counted super hard by mummies. So if somebody does go Thoth and you're playing Isis and you go Osiris, the big counter to that is the mummies. And then it's a question of how well the opponent's going to build priests and micro and kill off your mummies or not. But we'll probably see Osiris. The other thing that's really good with Thoth is you get the Book of Thoth, which gives all of your resources an extra 10% gather rate, which is huge. But now we've got a bunch of Migdols up for Ikil. He's making Cavalry, Chariot Archers, everything. We've got 144 of 144 pop, 4 Kimo, 150 or 152 for Ikil, you die. But Kimo needs to throw down his last house. I'm not sure if he's forgotten about it or he's just not used to or he's actually losing some houses over here. That's what's going on. So he's going to have to sort that one out fairly soon. But now we're pushing in the Chariot Archers. Nice micro here. You've got to micro your Chariot Archers onto enemy Chariot Archers. Can't be having them target down Siege Towers. We see the Pharaoh over here taking some shots from the Siege Tower, but that's about it. Now the Siege Tower is pushing and going to take down the enemy Siege Works here. Kimo making a big push, has a lot of Siege Towers. Siege Towers going at each other now, and now we're seeing some Mercenary Cavalry coming into the fray here. We've got so many trade caravans for Kimo. He's got 17 trade caravans, so he's absolutely in front right now in terms of the economy. So he's able to make these trades happen so nicely, getting heavy elephants now as well. Such a huge amount of resources gathering from these goats as well. He's got Hunt here as well that he can grab if he so chooses. Now the Siege Tower's coming over onto this location. The villagers getting pulled off of the gold mine as Kimo still trying to push in. That was weird. It said 149 of 149. You can't have that population, can you? It's weird, right? Anyways, 159 population for Kimo. Does he have... He's got... No. What? I'm so confused. This little thingy is messing up a little bit. What? I think he's going to have 154. Oh, he's got fortified town centers. Oh. Okay, he's still short that house. He's still short that house. Lol. Okay, and then he's building them back up over here and whatever. Okay, he'll sort them out eventually. It's not the end of the world. As this fight is continuing here. Siege Tower is pushing back in, trying to push in past this location. We've got these villagers just gathering with the mining camp. Could just kill that, but okay. Ikil struggling to stay alive, still trying to micro these Chariot Archers to the best of his ability, but he's actually focusing down Mercenary Cavalry. And these Mercenary Cavalry, yes, it's patch 5.0, but they've still got a ton of pierce armor with the bronze shields, as opposed to the non-upgraded ones, only at 34% otherwise. So these are very, very tanky Mercenary Cavalry. And Kimo's trading very nicely here. He's almost able to advance to the next age here, as he's just got the resources. He's going up through Thoth. Okay, I'm surprised to see the Thoth. We'll see if it works out for him. Ikil will not be ready for it. I don't think he's got monuments over here. But Kimo doesn't really have a way to check that. But the Meteor, very random god power because it targets trees as well. Trees have HP. It randomly targets anything around here that has HP. So we'll see what happens. We've got the Chariot Archers going to town against each other in here. Kimo's still holding on. He's got full houses now. He's just trying to pump these units out, still making those heavy elephants, which are absolute tanks. But Ikil's micro here is really, really good. He's continuously sniping these Chariot Archers in the back, and he's finding some success in this fight. But the Mercenary Cavalry is still coming out, and it's looking like Ikil has not started his trade route. So he just cannot afford to pump units like Kimo can. And even though this fight is sort of like stagnating in the middle here, it's not going to be all too much. We're seeing Kimo continue these walls up on this side of the map, doing the best that he can. And the elephants are taking down the Mercenary Cavalry over here. Everything going very, very well so far for Kimo, but Ikil holding on here. He's making his own elephants, but they're just a little bit weak here. Now the Siege Towers pushing in, doing the stuff. Will the Siege Towers push through this location or not? There's the Thoth and iKill going to tap out in 19 minutes. GG, well played by Kimo here, managing to take this win. This all sort of came down to basically per scene. If I had to take, like, basically per scene, right? If iKill had grabbed per scene while going to the heroic age, he would have had a ton more resources. He could have got out his Salt Amphora as well, because he still doesn't have Salt Amphora. Then he could have matched the trade route, and then he could have been in a very similar position to Kimo here, spamming at each other, getting to the Mythic Age together at the same time, getting all the same upgrades. Could have been the difference, but just because iKill didn't get per scene, he was so far behind on the food. If we check the post game out quickly, we got the food total. This is the story. So much food for Kimo. He's even buying food here, it looks like. But absolutely wild. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.